Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have our Week 16 preview coming right up with 4 games, 2 on the Friday and 2 on the Saturday. This will be released as of earlier in the day on the Friday. And Rick has already put his finger up to tell me something.
Keep in mind, every one of these 4 games has playoff implications attached to them.
And what are some of the playoff implications? Because I know you got them.
Well, if Winnipeg, BC, and Edmonton all lose, then Saskatchewan gets a home playoff game. If Toronto and BC lose, hold on, let me get it. Let me make sure I got it right. Toronto and BC lose, and Hamilton win. Hamilton clinches a playoffs berth.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like Saskatchewan is going to be a Ticat fan this week. But then if Hamilton wins, I don't know. It's funny because all the teams that I picked all work out in my favor.
Yeah, no, I had a pretty rough week last week, so we gotta recover from that. That was pretty brutal.
Got to regroup.
Yeah, we gotta regroup and not go fucking 0-4. Anyways, though, shall we get into the first game of the week, Rick? Which will be the 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern start time between on this Friday, which will be today as of when it's being posted.
Which I will be going
between the Montreal Alouettes and the Toronto Argonauts. This will be a home game for the Argos against the Alouettes. Alouettes going in with a 6-7 record. The Argos sitting at 5-8 and currently fighting for a playoff spot. Not just in the East, but amongst West teams looking to make the crossover as well. So, big game, big implications. And this is going to be difficult for Toronto because Montreal seemed to get their shit together last week with a 48 to 31, I think? 48 to 31 victory over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. However, before we always go into this, we get an injury report. So, Rick, can we get the injury report?
So, Sean Lemon, defensive line load management available. Sean Oakman, D-line load management available. Davis Alexander out. Cole Speaker, wide receiver load management available. Arthur Hamlin, DB calf out. We have Shireel Hogan Sandon, offensive line load management available. Dante Ruffin, DB, he is out. Nate Boscheman, for arm, he is out. Gabriel Lassard, linebacker, arm out. Daniel Odijo, wide receiver, foot out. Travis Thice, running back, ankle out. Tyrell Richards, linebacker, shoulder available. Seontae Evans, DB, hip out. And McLeod Bethel Thompson, elbow available.
I was about to say, you kind of have to hope he's available after the performance he put up last week and everything.
With the Toronto side, we have Nick Arbuckle, QB calf, who's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. Spencer Brown, we have hip, running back, available. Sage Dockstader, offensive line, head, out. Dylan Giffen, offensive line, out. Your good old friend Larham, kicker, illness, available. Derek Slyweka, DB, ankle, available. Anthony Vandal, offensive line, ankle, available. And Ryder Varga, linebacker, knee, out.
So, Rick,
So,
How do we?
I'm
Because like my issue here, and this is where I have concerns for the Argos. Not that I'm always trying to pick against the Argos, because I mean, fair enough to them. They won that game last week against Edmonton in a bit of a close finish and a contentious one with all the rough housing that we saw afterwards. But I have a hard time when the Argos struggle to beat the Elks, though despite have been playing better, is still one of the lower teams in the league. When Montreal puts up almost 50 points against what is at least like on paper the best team in the league. I say on paper in the sense of that I think that I think that a lot of people like I find Calgary more dangerous than Saskatchewan if we're talking like really making a playoff push. However, statistically speaking, the Riders in terms of wins, they've had the most conclusion, they've had the most finish there, and being able to put 50 points up against that kind of against a team like that doesn't come from nowhere. You know what I mean? And so obviously, I have doubts if this is sustainable for the Alouettes or whatever, but they still were able to do it in the first place. So that's where I then question how I'd feel about like, do I do I feel that this Argos team is better than that? I don't know, man.
I'm just double checking something. So he lost on there too, and lost there. Okay, so looking at the depth charts, so the quarterback that's in for Toronto
Yep.
has, I would say, 3.5 games, because last week I wouldn't really call last week half a
Because
full game.
it's Doge that's going to be starting, right?
Yes. So out
Yeah,
of all
because
three
that's
of their
kind of the other
quarterbacks,
that's kind of the other thing here.
out of all three of their quarterbacks, he's the only one that has CFL experience,
Yep.
and he does not have a winning record. He's 0-3. I mean, depending on how you look at last week, but not including last week, he's still 0-3 from 2023.
Yeah.
I want to see if, okay, Oakman's playing, Wynn's playing, but um, what's his face is not playing. Let me go back here. Lemon's not playing.
Yeah.
I just think, like, I already know who I'm going with, but
Oh, I already know who I'm going with too.
because I already submitted my picks forward
I have not yet
earlier.
submitted my picks, but I do know who I'm going
Um,
with.
I'm just saying, the only thing that would put me on the bubble is the fact that Toronto has scored 30 points for and against for the last 3 games, and they've won.
Yeah.
The question is, can they do it a fourth time?
Can they do it a fourth time and then also not give up what Saskatchewan gave up? Do we have more faith in the Argos defense to put up a better stand than the Riders? And I just that's where I struggle. As much as I love ripping on Saska as a Bomber fan, the Riders are where they are because there's competency on that team. You know what I mean? And so I don't personally how actually before we officially announce our picks, the Old Dutch Pick'ems, Rick, shall you go through
Yes.
those?
So Pat Steinberg and Vicky Hall both picked Toronto. Christina Constable, Matt Cause, and Jamie Now all picked Montreal, along with all of the French people have all gone Montreal.
The French people took Montreal. I'm in shock. Yeah, no, I'm going Alouettes. I don't see a way that I shouldn't say I don't see a way, but Montreal would really have to screw the pooch after what they put up last week to just completely fall in the other direction to that extent, you know?
There was actually a person that I'm not going to mention names. Um, he goes, I think if Toronto keeps it close, that he's like, I don't know if they can win. He's like, I honestly feel if Toronto loses and BC wins, Toronto could be done.
Yeah, it also would really hurt if Winnipeg wins, as I think Winnipeg is more a threat to that spot out in the East. Like, I mean, obviously they could still finish third in the West, but I'm saying I think they're more of a threat to that spot out in the East than the Red Blacks are.
Nothing against you, Carter. I
Yep.
just think if Ticats are gonna have an easier way to the Grey Cup, I think it's best if BC goes west instead of east and Winnipeg comes east.
And that would be easier for who?
Hamilton. Because I just think with what obviously with
Okay, I will say that is a little bit of a bold take. Do you want me to tell you why?
My whole thing is that the games against BC have been a lot closer than what I want them to. And I just think
Here's my question: Do you think a game against a Chris Streveler led offense is a serious representation of Winnipeg?
no, but I mean, there's
I'm gonna I'm gonna say one thing, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Like with you being a Ticats fan, you've been a fan of the Ticats for a while.
Yeah.
You were a fan of the Ticats the two times that my Bombers beat them in the Grey Cup game.
But
Is there no a little bit of the jitters? I don't know.
No, because I find that our team could possibly be the team this year, not like the previous last few years.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, Winnipeg is not the Winnipeg team from 2021.
This is also true.
So I just think with what BC has, I just think that for us to actually go through, it would be easier to go through Winnipeg than it would be BC.
So here's my I get that. It's funny. I obviously disagree because first I'm a Bomber fan. I have that bias inherently.
Disagree.
But then the other thing is, have we watched the same BC Lions defense? Have we? Because I would argue against that. But it is what it is. Should we get into the next game, though? Because if we're going to talk about BC, then we should probably talk about this next game, where the Calgary Stampeders host the BC Lions. Calgary going into the game with an 8-4 record. They're sitting at second out in the West behind Saskatchewan, who's currently 10-3. So they're only one game. I shouldn't say one game. They're only a little bit behind them because they got a game in hand on Saskatchewan, and then the Lions sitting at 6-7. Fighting for a playoff spot, whether that means third in the West or or crossing over into the East. Big game for the Lions coming right up. So, shall we get to the injury reports?
We shall. We have we'll start with Calgary first. Sheldon Arnold, DB hands out. Maurice Blackwell, linebacker, knee available. Josh Croker, offensive line, ankle available. Aaron Crawford, long snapper, out. Deontay Demery, offensive line, hamstring available. Adrian Green, DB, lower leg available. Anton Hay, DB, shoulder out. Malik Henry, wide receiver, knee out. Justin Herdman Reed, linebacker, hamstring doubtful. Jalen Hutchins, D-line, groin available. Jason Javier Messier, D-line, shoulder out. You have William Langlis, fullback, illness available. Marquel Lee, linebacker, bicep out. Josh Love, QB, load management available. Flo Ordamalade, D-line, Achilles. He's out for the rest of the season. Sean Peterson, D-line, ankle out. Jalen Philpott, foot. Says it's questionable, but on the depth chart he's playing. And then Tyler Richardson, DB, groin, and he is available. Are we ready for the BC line side?
Let's go for the...
Dejon Allen, offensive line.
Yeah, I think we technically went in the reverse order because I think usually we go away team first, but whatever.
Oh. Well,
that's fine.
I'm just reading
that's
it
fine.
as it appears.
Who gives a shit? It doesn't really make a difference. I just noticed that now.
Dejon Allen, offensive line, arm out. Gerald Broxton, offensive line, foot, questionable. Bradley Annie, defensive line, shoulder, questionable. James Butler, thigh, questionable. Javon Kotoy, wide receiver, ankle, questionable. Tybo D. Belly, defensive line, ankle, questionable. Jermaine Jackson, wide receiver, available. Tamashi Lee, defensive line, hip, available. Gary Peters, defensive back, knee, questionable. Maxime Royer, linebacker, ankle, available. And Kimoko Toure, defensive line, ankle, available.
So, if we're looking at, because Calgary has a bye week, so their last week, so their last game they played. It's funny, despite the fact that Calgary's played very, very good for the most part, their last game was that stinker that they put up against Edmonton just a couple weeks ago.
You got to remember, Adrian Green's back, Hutchinson is back.
That's true.
So those are two big key players on defense.
Yeah. Although I will still say that they probably still should have won that game, but that's true.
On top of that, you got to think James Brown is not playing, so they're putting in Horvath as their running back and only running back. Besides Pickett and Bond. Katoy's not playing, so they put in Passant as well. And let me look to see. And Gary Peters is a game time decision.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, this is not looking good.
Yeah, because this is a game where, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about BC here. Not that BC's not able to get it done. They certainly are. They got it done on the road against Ottawa. And I thought that, but it was only a week ago. I thought Ottawa might. My prediction was that Ottawa would get the win against them. You know, my indicator showed that Ottawa just had a bit more going on. And even though they won that game, they still gave up 27 points. And Dustin Crum played a very good game for them. The Lions did well offensively and did good enough defensively. Still almost gave up 30 points though. And I think about those struggles that they had. The Lions had defensively. And it struggles that they can get away with the team against a team like Ottawa. I'm gonna say sometimes though, because they still lost 34-33 the week prior to that. But like again, I still don't know if I quite can believe like my whole thing is if I didn't think that they would get the win against Ottawa, and they proved me wrong against fair enough. But Calgary is a whole different animal than the Ottawa Redblacks. I'm not going to try to pretend that these two teams are the same level of threat because they're just not. So I don't know, but I don't know where are you coming at it from this, Rick?
For like who I think's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, kind of, what are your thoughts?
Um, to me, it's just like without James Butler, that's a big problem for BC.
Yeah.
Then you have Dejan Allen out. That's even worse. Then you have Katoy out. That's not getting any better. And like you had mentioned before, their defense isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
That's
a very generous way of putting it.
If we go with the old Dutch pick'ems, Matt Cause on the English side is the only one that's picking BC. Everyone's going for Calgary. On the French side, Jean-Philippe Bolduc and Marc Legault are both BC, and Felix and Renaud are both Calgary. And I'm going the route of vast majority of people, and I am going Calgary.
I'm also going Calgary with this. I don't. I am. Yeah, I'm not hopping on the BC train. We're not at that point yet. So, Rick.
Fair enough.
That brings us to our third game of the week, which is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this Saturday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, taking on the Ottawa Redblacks in Ottawa. Ottawa sitting with a 4-9 record, and Winnipeg with 6-7. Probably one of the few times in the past few years that Winnipeg has had a losing record. They haven't had it a ton in the past few years. They've had a pretty good few years, but they do now, and my guess would be that it's going to be at least one more week before the potential return of Zach Collaros. Although I know a lot of people are skeptical of how healthy or whatever, but anyways, Rick, we should probably. Speaking of which, we should probably go with the injury reports.
Let's do it properly this time. So let's go with Winnipeg.
Going with Winnipeg.
So, Micah Vanderpool is non-injury related, so he's available. Peyton Logan is also a running back, non-injury related. He's available. Zach Collaros head injury, limited all week. He's questionable. Obviously, he's not playing. Jared Stearns.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expects him at least playing this week. No way.
Wide receiver shoulder, limited all week, questionable. Jamal Parker, DB leg, limited full, questionable. And Michael Giffen, sorry. DB knee, did not practice all week, and he's questionable. On to the Red Black side.
Whoa, what do you mean Michael Giffen? Is there no... It should be Griffin, right?
Okay, so I did say it right the first time.
You did say it right, yeah. No, you said it right the first time because you then corrected yourself, and I'm like, no, Rick, I think you got it right the first time.
People always say, "Oh, you pronounced that name," and then I said it wrong the first time before.
To be fair, a lot of times you do actually.
You got to say it this way.
To be fair, you actually do mispronounce a lot of names, but you actually got that one right. I'll give you credit where credit's due, man.
I mean, name one person who has ever named
what?
people's names right. because I can guarantee you no one.
Oh yeah, no, I screwed up too. No, it's just fun.
Um,
It's just fun to let you know.
Thanks. So with Ottawa, we have Drew Brown is going to be starting this week.
Oh yeah.
Devontae Dedman is also kick return running back. Ankle, he's available. William Stanback is going to be out. Parker Moore, offensive line knee, out. Daniel Okapoko, defensive line shoulder, available. Lucas Cormier, linebacker hip, available. Tyron Verdi, linebacker foot, available. And Richie Leone, personal reasons. Basically, his mom passed away.
Oh god,
So
that's awful.
he is not playing this week.
No, absolutely no. He needs whatever time. That's brutal, man. Rest in
Other
peace.
than that, I don't have any depth charts because it's a Saturday, so they don't come out till Friday.
Yeah.
I could see Dedman and Daniel Adnaboye playing running back.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny because it's like, oh, the teacher versus the student this week.
What do you mean? Caleres isn't playing.
Because no, but at the same time, when Drew Brown was in Winnipeg, wasn't it Zach Claris, Drew Brown, Streveler?
Or was it Prukop? Might have been
I'm sure it
Prukop.
was one of them at one point.
I'll put it this way, though. Even if Streveler was there, are you telling me that Streveler was teaching Drew Brown how to throw? I don't think so.
I mean, at the same point, I
would argue the roles are reversed.
Either way, you can't tell me that friggin' Chris Streveler is going to be any worse than last week.
Well, I guess that's to look. I guess that's a positive way of thinking about it. Hey, Bomber fans, if you're having a hard time after last game, just remember it can't get any worse than that.
No, you can only go up. You can only go up in life.
There's only going up from here. Yeah, no, that was that's the thing, and I think the big thing was that not that you can't win games at all with Streveler, but it's that you can't win big games with Streveler in that regard. And that's where, like, I mean, if you think about it, like the Bombers' first win of the year was against the Lions. You can get away with the Lions against the Lions with Streveler. You're able to kind of mask over enough of the problems with Streveler enough that you could still salvage a win. You can't do that against Hamilton. Hamilton's improved too much to be able to get away with that against them. And I think that was blatantly obvious for pretty much every single Bomber fan in last week's game. And so I guess the question now is, can they get away with it against Ottawa? Because, I'd say you're more likely to get away with it against Ottawa than you are against
the
Hamilton?
only thing that I would say that Winnipeg has over Ottawa is the run game and a little bit of defense.
I was about to say I think maybe D line as well. I think D line Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I think Winnipeg's D line's a better D line. But I'd say the only place where on paper you don't even have to look at a who's injured, who's playing to know who's going to be better it would be the run game though. That's absolutely in Winnipeg's favor, and they need to use that. Brady Oliveira was great last game, even when the guy handed the ball off to him. What wasn't, and so again with a Streveler run offense, you have to you got to use that run game. It becomes all the more important And so that I think that's going to be a key for the Bombers here.
Okay, so Winnipeg's defense, rush yards is fourth, passes third. Ottawa's rush defense is second, but then their pass defense is seventh. So it's going to be interesting. I won't say that it won't be a shit show.
I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing for us.
Well, because I mean, one thing you guys are good at, one thing that Ottawa's good at, but the thing that Ottawa's bad at, you guys are bad at.
When Streveler's playing, yes.
Well, just in general.
And I'd say Calera still has a pretty good arm.
I don't know.
Again, I'm not gonna pretend that statistically this is the best season he's ever had, but I'm saying if you look at the picks that, like if you look at the picks that he's thrown specifically, and you look at the picks that Streveler's thrown, I don't think it's comparable. They are not. Some of them, like we're comparing picks that are more because of like more circumstantial than picks that are necessarily like poor player quality.
If you,
I still think Zach Collaros is a top QB in the league. Call me blind, call me stupid, whatever. But
if you take
I still think he's got it.
the receiving part out of the play for Oliveira, then
because that's the other part here is that Brady Oliveira is not just a threat in the running game, but he's also, he'll be that kind of that dump route when there's no one else available, and so as long as Streveler can actually get the ball to him and whatnot, he can be a threat there as well.
The thing that I find is that Ottawa has Justin Hardy, Eugene Lewis, Braylon Addison, and Pimpleton. Winnipeg has Dembski, Wheatfall, Oliveira, and Wilson. I won't even include anyone else because everyone else is just out to lunch.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm talking about Claire CS too. Dalton Schoen, don't even get me started with Dalton Schoen. Dalton Schoen hasn't even freaking showed up this season.
Dalton Schoen this season has not been what we've hoped for. It's unfortunate. The potential's there, but we got to see.
It will be interesting to see what the return game is like between Ottawa and Winnipeg.
Yeah. No, Trey Vavel has done very, very well, and then obviously Ottawa is
Pimpleton, and then if Dedmon plays, that's going to be even a lot worse.
Yeah.
But anywho,
because I think a lot of Bomber fans still remember that home game we had where Pimpleton, on the missed field goal by Sergio Castillo, would run 107 yards for the touchdown. Bombers would end up winning that game with Castillo hitting a 47-yard field goal. But
have you guys even played them this year?
Yes, yeah, it was from earlier this season. That was from from week 11. It wasn't even that long ago. It was a home game for Winnipeg.
Oh yeah, you guys only won by like 3.
Yeah, because remember Castillo misses the field goal, and then Pimpleton runs it the whole distance, ties the game. But then they weren't able to close it out because Winnipeg, like they had to kick it off to Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets possession and gets far enough for a field goal, and then that's all she wrote.
Mm-hmm. So on the Pick'em side, all French go Ottawa. Pat Steinberg and Vicky Hall go Winnipeg, and then the other 3 English people go Ottawa.
It's funny. I took Winnipeg last week, And I took it even though in my gut I knew it wasn't the right decision. I just wanted to believe. I'm taking Winnipeg this week, and this is actually a genuine thing though. I stand behind this pick. And it's not because I think Streveler is going to do great. I don't think he's going to do great. I think he's going to have a rough game. I think the Bombers are going to win in spite of Streveler. I think if you look at the rest of this team, if you look at the running game of Brady Oliveira, if you look at Nick Dembski, who currently is eyeing that MOC trophy, and he wants it, and he's one of the main candidates for it. And if they're able to, if Streveler is, if as long as Jason Hogan runs some very, like when it comes to because it's not like he's never going to pass the ball in the game. He will pass the ball. As long as he runs some relatively conservative routes, I think that can be fine. I think you got to look at I think you got to look at some film of the Ottawa Redblacks, and they will, and they're doing this. There's no question. Mm-hmm. And you look at where these guys have gotten burnt. If they're 7th in passing game defense in a 9-team league, there's a reason why. So I think if you're Jason Hogan, you get all the guys in the film room and you try to exploit that. So I'm going with Winnipeg in this game.
I'm going the opposite route. Only because I'm an asshole.
You're right, Rick. You are an asshole. You're not right about the pick. You're right that you're an asshole.
Thanks. I am going with Ottawa. Because the last time I bet against Ottawa, they friggin' let me down. And friggin'...
Yeah, well, last time I bet for Ottawa, they couldn't put up points on a BC Lions defense. So I don't even know what the hell to believe anymore. So...
And because the Winnipeg loss is a Saskatchewan game.
And so, anyways, I don't even want to hear about Saskatchewan. They're not playing this week. They're not important. But anyways, which leaves our final game of the weekend, which is the Edmonton Elks taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats with a record of 8-5, and the Elks with a record of 5-8.
And it is also Hall of Fame weekend.
Yes. And actually, one thing I need to remember to mention is starting this weekend for kickers and punters, the CFL is going to be using the Indigenous football. So that will be with the orange Wilson logo as well as the orange laces on them. So just kind of a fun thing that they're doing. Honestly, I hope they sell those in the stores because they're really nice. I really like them. Maybe we'll grab them myself. Who knows? But if they decide to sell them, so I hope they do though, because they're beautiful.
I can let you know tomorrow when I go to Toronto. If I see them in the store, then obviously they're going to sell them.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything online. But if you see them in the store, let me know, please.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with the visiting Elks because they're gonna be elk meat this weekend. Haha, funny pun, haha. Nick Anderson, linebacker, hip, out. Jared Brinkman, defensive line, shoulder, foot, available. You have Greg Eland, offensive line, load management, available. Royce Metier, DB, Achilles, out. Brock Mogson, linebacker, shoulder, available. Joshua Shackell, linebacker, rib, available. And Jalen Williams, DB, load management, available. Now we're going to go to the long list of people for Hamilton. But reminds me, it's almost as bad as Calgary's, but ours are mostly available. Daniel Bell, fullback, elbow, out. Keaton Bergling, wide receiver, load management, available. Patrick Burke Jr., DB, shoulder, available. Kyler Fisher, load management, shoulder, out. Linebacker, shoulder.
Oh, Rick, we lost you. Oh, we lost Rick. Rick, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rick? Shit. He can't hear me. One sec. Damn it. We got to reconnect Rick. Let's see. I sent him a new invite. We should have him back. Rick?
I didn't have my magic powers to make you reappear. I'm sorry.
We're all good. We got you back. Continue.
Proof. Okay. You heard Patrick Burke?
Yes.
Okay. Kyler Fisher.
I don't know if we heard Tyler Fisher.
Okay. Kyler Fisher, linebacker, shoulder out. Harrison Frost, QB load management available. Malik Hall, D-line oblique available. Stavros Katratonis, DB ankle available. Jordan Murray, offensive line knee available. Jamal Peters, DB illness available. Jacob Zott, offensive line knee available. Devin Verisek, linebacker head available. Quintavian White, DB load management available. Ray Wilburn, linebacker illness available. Drew Wolodarski, wide receiver available. Drew Wolodarski, load management available. And Isaiah Wooden Sr., wide receiver, shoulder available.
So the Ticat fan. I'm gonna let you get started on this.
So, last time we played Edmonton, I believe was, I want to say, what week was it? It was week 9. The first play of the game, Isaiah Wooden returns a 75-yard kick return. 2 plays later, this guy, Levi Mitchell's throwing a touchdown. Isaiah Wooden's going to be playing tomorrow, and that's going to be a huge run game return for us.
Yeah.
Before he left. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to make sure that I get this right. I believe he leads punt and kickoff returns. He leads the league with 2. Vavel, Grant, and Alford all have 1, so he leads the league.
Whoa, wait. Are you talking punt or kickoff return?
Punt and kickoff returns. According to
that's wrong.
The league,
I will tell you what.
According to the league,
you're talking touchdown?
According to the league's website.
Okay, do you want I can tell you why that's wrong. Do you want me to tell you why that's wrong? Trey Vavel got 2 in a single game.
I'm just going by with what they have on their website.
Here, let me see if I can find the exact game. Just so I can show you. Continue while I'm looking for this.
Kerry the King Lawler's gonna eat them alive if they use him.
Kerry the King.
The only thing that I'm really worried about is Rankin.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I'm really worried about. Greg Bell should do well. Was it a win?
Rick, I sent you a video from the official CFL YouTube of Trey Vavel getting first the punt return.
What game was it?
Touchdown. This was against. This was a home game for Winnipeg against Toronto this year. I can't remember.
That's the game that I picked.
Yeah, because even in the title it says that he double dips on kick return touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they only have one.
Because he got two. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure. Well, actually, I can tell you exactly why. You want to know why, Rick? Because they don't update their fucking website.
Actually, TSN's worse.
Are they? Was it? Who was it? It was me and you. What was the player that we discovered that they had listed as like 100 years old? Remember?
Oh, I
think it was Samuel MLS.
Yeah, that was on CFL's website. But I mean, at the same time, soon as the game's over, the CFL updates the stats on.
So that would be week 9, by the way. Because if I'm looking week 9,
fair enough.
Week 9, because I'm looking here, kick returning. Yeah, see, even the Score website has it. Kick returning, Trey Vavel, 1 kick return, 93 yards, with a touchdown. Punt return, 8 punt returns for 152 yards total, with his longest being a 97-yarder, which resulted in the touchdown. So that was.
Oh, you know why?
Week 9.
You know. I found out why I was reading it wrong. So, if you go on the CFL's stats thing, they have punt return separate from kick return, and I was only looking at kick return.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said they were combined.
No.
Or did you think they were combined?
Have it separate. So.
Oh, okay. So no, that makes sense because he has 1 of each. Because he has 2 total.
Isaiah Witten has 3.
Gotcha.
And then Grant has 1. Alfred has 1. Leak has 2. And then Pimpleton and Seven McGee. Brooks and Thicey.
Yeah, although to be fair, Pimpleton also has a missed field goal touchdown, which probably does not get counted there.
True. But I just think that Hamilton will continue their win streak.
Continue their streak, yeah.
Continue our streak.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's that I think Edmonton has a chance in this game. I think this game can be decently close with a really good performance by Justin Rankin, especially since for all the things that the Ticats are good at, the rush defense is something I know that you guys struggle with sometimes.
Yes.
And so that's where as much as I think that Hamilton will probably win this game, and I'm taking Hamilton in my pick'ems, if Edmonton won this game, I'm not going to say that I would be expecting that. I'm not. I'm expecting Hamilton to win here, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I don't see this as like I view like Montreal beating Saskatchewan last week, where I was like, where the fuck did this come from?
A lot of people are saying that this game's going to be within under a touchdown.
I could see that.
5 points.
I could see that simply, and Justin Rankin is the reason why.
I mean, if you really think about it, you could have said the same thing about Winnipeg and Brady Oliveira, but
yeah, at
the same time, they have Fajardo. You guys have Strebler. Mind you, Oliveira did put up a lot of rushing yards on our run defense, though.
Yep, that he did. I think he averaged like 6.7 or like 7 points. I don't know. He averaged a good amount though. It was way over 5. It was at least 6 point something.
7.7.
7.7. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want.
And even Strebler had 7.5.
Yeah. Well, because again, like Strebler is just kind of a good running meatball, you know. That's his role.
I just want to see if I know Rankin didn't have much of a game last week. Oh, won't tell me here. I gotta go to stats.
So you're taking Hamilton then?
Of course I am.
I
never doubt my boys.
Except that one week they played Saskatchewan.
No.
You took Saskatchewan.
So out of this year, he's only had one game over 200, two games over 100, one at 92, and everything else was less than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't forget he can get receiving yards too.
This is true.
But with that being said, those people that want to watch the CFL ceremony can watch it on CFL Plus Friday evening at 6:30. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it. It will be. I'm sure it will be on the CFL YouTube channel as well. Also, those people that do want to go that are in the Hamilton area, you can on what date is this? Tuesday from September 23rd from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Burlington on Guelph Line 1167 Guelph Line. You can go for the visitation for Ted Goveia. And then also on Wednesday, the following day at 2:30 in Burlington on 1120 Burloak Drive, they're having the funeral service again for anyone that wants to go. I will give Carter the link for more information.
Yeah,
Also
I'll put that link in the description.
Also in that link, there is, if you click on McMaster University or Mount Allison University for those scholarships, you can also donate as well.
Lovely.
But other than that, I have nothing else. As Carter always likes to say, Rick, do you have anything else?
Anything else you got, Rick? I want to make sure I'm not cutting you off. I want to make sure we're not missing anything. But if that's all that you got, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you guys give us 5 stars. We very much appreciate all the support that you guys give us over there. And so, without further ado, peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. We will see you guys next time.